Hello everybody, welcome back to Climb to the Top, my series where we try and see if we can get a functional team from the recruitment system, the free-to-play recruitment system of Pokemon Champions, and see how far we can get in the Pokemon Champions ranked ladder. Today we're going to get a couple of Pokemon here. We're going to see what we can do. I saw online that there was some way of getting like specific tickets in order to try and recruit a certain type of Pokemon. Don't believe I have anything quite like that, so I guess we're just going to try and rip it. I still have a ton of quick coupons, so we're going to try and pull at least once or twice and then see what happens. Hopefully we get a couple good Pokemon. Let's see what we get. Alrighty, let's see what Pokemon we get. Alrighty. Okay, there's some pretty good Pokemon here. Oranguru is a Pokemon I really like, and I have thought about trying to include into teams. This is really decent spread as well. The moveset could definitely be better. It's definitely a Pokemon that wants its signature move: Instruct, Trick Room, Protect, the like. I don't believe I have a Masquerada, otherwise I'd think about Tauros Blaze Breed. Mega Glade, I still believe has Inner Focus, so it's actually weaker than if it were to have Sharpness. Mega Kangaskhan could be interesting because that Pokemon is not super well off in Pokemon Champions, is it? We might do Mega Kangaskhan. For now, we're just going to put it on the trial recruitment. I'm not so sure if I want to properly build off of it. Let's see if we can get one more Pokemon. Ideally, a Pokemon that's maybe a little bit more interesting than Mega Kangaskhan is. Hopefully, a new Pokemon with a new Mega. This time, Rhyperior is a Pokemon I really would like to use. Lopunny and Altaria also have Megas. I already have a Gengar. Rhyperior could be really interesting, but I feel like Rhyperior is really good if you have like another Pokemon to support it. And I really only have Farigiraf, which is okay, but it's not like I honestly probably would have rather have taken Oranguru from the last round. Lopunny's okay. Altaria's kind of boring. Toxicroak is a really good anti-rain Pokemon, I suppose. But even then, is it really? Like, it can Sucker Punch into Basculegion. It kind of struggles to kill Pelipper. I don't think Thunder Punch quite nails it. Palafin, still Thunder Punch. Archaladon, it has CC for Archaladon, I guess. Or Focus Blast if it wants to go from a special set. And then it has probably Ice Punch, but it's still weak to Dragonite. It's not faster, so that's not a really good option there anyways. I guess for now, I'll just take Rhyperior. I'll at least put it on the trial recruitment. I don't think I'm going to quite spend the money on it. Let's see what Pokemon I have real fast. I don't know if there's a Pokemon like team that I'd rather use or see. I don't know if there's any like new Pokemon I'd like to build around. Oh, I already had a Kangaskhan. Well, that sucks. I didn't think I did. I got Rotom from a free recruitment the other day. It's been a couple days since I last recorded. I did just get Mega Meganium. Maybe I just ripped Meganium, right? That's what I ended up getting from this. Oh, I got a couple more I gotta do. Okay. I'm not quite at Meganium. Hopefully we get to Meganium soon. I guess I can just rip... No, Dragonite. Interesting Pokemon. Drampa. Let's build her on Drampa. All right, guys, I'm gonna build a team around Drampa, and we'll see you here in a second. All right, guys, welcome back. We are doing Drampa, like I said in the video. We're kind of gonna do a Trick Room setup for Drampa, and I had a unique idea with the Pokemon that I had access to, where I could do round Drampa plus round Sylveon to try and get off, maybe a faster round with either one of them, especially in Trick Room. Drampa's really slow, so round into Sylveon round would be pretty solid. I threw Weather Ball on Sylveon so it could have fire coverage. My Torkoal set's a little strange. I threw on Yawn instead of Earth Power, like traditional Torkoal I think you typically go for, because I already have Earth Power on Drampa. We're using Cofagrigus for our Trick Room setter, mostly because it's a ghost type, but also because I wanted some sort of fighting coverage for King Gambit mainly, and some ghost coverage for like the Sinistra, Basculegion, Gengar that might be annoying for Drampa. Whimsicott is just here because it's the only really good support Pokemon I really have. I feel like Encore and Sunny Day could be valuable, even into like a lead with like Cofagrigus plus Whimsicott. If I see like Incineroar, Fake Out makes sense to bring into Whimsicott. Maybe something like Taunt. If I can taunt them into something like that, then that would be solid. And then finally, we have Sneasler just for like really strong fighting coverage, but also because it's pretty fast and it has Fake Out. Pretty simple team here. These are the stats. We're going max HP, max special attack Drampa, Sylveon, Torkoal. Cofagrigus is going to be max defense because I don't want Incineroar, and really all these physical attackers is why I have Cofagrigus. Whimsicott is still just max speed, max special attack, and Sneasler is going to be max attack, max speed. Hopefully we can go on another win streak today. I'm excited to use Drampa. Let's get into our first battle. All right, first battle here against Supernova. Looks like a sand team, pretty scary one. The score is typically like Poison Heal, but I imagine it's probably Sandveil here, which is really frustrating. I think for that reason alone, I should probably bring Torkoal. I don't think it's a great upfront Pokemon. I think it's probably something I keep in the back. Up front, I definitely want to bring in Cofagrigus because Body Press just destroys Excadrill, Etar, Aggron, and then does a lot of damage into Archaladon. I think Sneasler up front could be okay. It prevents T-Tar from being able to just like snipe Cofagrigus really hard. If it's like, you know, Mega T-Tar with knockoff, that does a lot of damage into Cofagrigus. I want to bring Drampa in the back. I guess I could choose between either Drampa or Torkoal. I think Drampa is probably better because it has Earth Power still, so it can deal damage even outside of the sand, and it does have Cloud 9, which is really good. But at the same time, I can probably still just bring Torkoal in the back because Hyper Voice isn't really the move I'm thinking of bringing on Drampa. How about we also bring Torkoal? Whimsicott's not as good. Cofagrigus, Sneasler, Drampa, Torkoal. Let's see how we do here. I think up front, no matter what, it should be pretty easy for me to get Trick Room up because Cofagrigus is so bulky. I'm max Fizdef, so unless he has like really poor leading into me, that's fine. Sand plus, it's a little annoying. I can't think of any way that they can kill me here. Kind of just want to click Trick Room plus switch into Drampa, maybe. Drampa does take a bit of damage, but I'm not expecting like, I guess I could see like high horsepower come out here, huh? I think I'm gonna burn this Hippo and just click CC into the Archaladon slot. CC does come out first. I'm probably going to see Sturdy. It's also just bulky enough to live it. I do believe Archaladon goes next. Don't think anything other than a Draco is capable of immediately killing these. We're going to see Stealth Rock, which is a little weird. That's a little neat. A Wisp is going to come out into the Hippo. So I know my Cofagrigus is slower than Hippo now. Cofagrigus' base stat is, what, 30, right? Hippo's base speed is 47. Drampa's base speed is 36. Did I just see Roar? Wow, they roared out. That's fascinating. I don't know how much that matters. I'm definitely just going for Heat Wave, though. Heat Wave plus CC into Archaladon, maybe? Because Archaladon definitely is more capable of killing the Torkoal than, what's his name is. So yeah, we'll go CC into Archaladon, Torkoal, Heat Wave into Hippo. I don't think Hippo is able to kill either of my Pokemon, actually. Maybe after the defense drop, it's able to kill Sneasler if it were to go for like Earthquake or something. But Torkoal should be able to live any hit. Torkoal's really, really physically defensive. And then we should be able to knock out our Chaladon. Worst case, they swap out. That's annoying, but not the end of the world. I don't know what they could swap out into. That would be like really, really bad for me. So our Chaladon's going to go down to the CC from Sneasler. Heatwave is going to come out into Hippo no matter what I think it's able to do, unless it maybe gets like a crit or it's Earth Power or something weird. Earthquake is going to come out. Not going to be able to kill either Pokemon. Then Heatwave is going to miss on Hippo, which is really unfortunate. I don't believe I'm at an HP range where Eruption was been stronger, so I still think Heatwave was my play. I guess if you were to argue semantics, it's obvious that I go for Eruption there because it never can miss. In fact, in this position, we're going to go for Protect with Torkoal and probably bring out Cofagrigus again. No, I think since Sneasler is absolutely faster than Excadrill, I go for Heat Wave again, just to try and get as much damage as possible. It's more likely that Torkoal is going to be weaker this time, and we just go for CC into the Excadrill slot, because even if it's Focus Sash, it's absolutely not able to live 2 hits, and it just drops to the first CC. If it was Scarf, it's not able to outspeed Sneasler, because Sneasler is unburdened right now. We're definitely going to see... Oh, this time I was faster. So is this a speed tie somehow between Torkoal and Hippo? Oh, he went for Whirlwind. Okay. So he went for the anti-priority move, negative priority, to try and get my Sneasler out, which is really, really strange idea. I mean, this turn, I don't know what I'm going to see. I suppose it could be T-Tar. If I see T-Tar, I'm probably just going to Protect and Trick Room. That's probably my best plan. Oh yeah, I'm definitely protecting and Trick Rooming. This is a Pokemon that's very frustrating for Torkoal, but Heat Wave is still a lot of damage. So if I go for Protect plus Trick Room, there's no way that they're going to be able to kill Cofagrigus, even if they were able to double into the slot with like high horsepower plus Head Smash. I don't think they're capable of killing Cofagrigus. But this way, Torkoal can at least prevent itself from dying right away. Head Smash is going to rip into the Torkoal slot as well, so we're going to protect it. Hippo's going to go for Yawn, which is fine, because I don't think this is even going to last one more turn. Cofagrigus is going to get up Trick Room this turn. Torkoal is going to rip Heat Wave, and Cofagrigus... maybe I just go for Eruption, because Eruption should be capable of killing both Pokemon, especially... Yeah, I'll go for Eruption. I don't want to miss... I guess I want to get this over with as fast as possible. Eruption's still a decent amount of damage, so full Eruption plus Body Press into the Aggron slot. And that should absolutely clean up the game. Body Press will absolutely do enough damage to kill Aggron, and then Eruption is going to clean up whatever rest of the damage needs to happen. I guess it's the vice versa, because Cofagrigus is faster than Torkoal, I'm pretty sure. I don't think they have a speed tie or anything. Yeah, Cofagrigus should be slower than Torkoal in the Trick Room. So what are we going to see from my opponent? I mean, I would say concede, because I don't believe it's possible for them to ever make it back here, unless Aggron's like goated. Eruption from Torkoal into both slots. Oh my goodness! Torkoal! That's a banger Pokemon, man. That mon does so much damage. That was like a half health Eruption did that to Aggron. I know Aggron's special defense is really low, but isn't it like still 60 or something? It's not that low. 70 HP, 60 special defense, a half HP charcoal sun boosted Torkoal with Eruption. Almost killed it in one shot. That's insane. And I know that wasn't sturdy, so if I maybe even got a higher roll, there was a chance I could have killed it there, which is just nuts. That's just absolutely insane damage from Torkoal. We're gonna get into our second battle here. Alrighty, second battle. This time playing against a name that I cannot pronounce. That is Frostlass and Rotom. Both of them would have 100% accurate blizzards. I would say Drampa with Cloud9 is capable of stopping such a thing, but it is absolutely not. I think Torkoal is a Pokemon I have to keep in the back. I think we do Cofagrigus up front for sure, because Trick Room is just really valuable. And then maybe Sylveon up front, because if I do see Frostless out front, I think I can swap Sylveon into Torkoal in on that first slot, and then click Weather Ball with Sylveon and maybe pick up a KO on Frostlass. For that reason, we absolutely bring Torkoal in the back. And then Pokemon in the back are frustrating. I think maybe we just bring Drampa to try and get some progress made. Because otherwise I don't really have the damage. Sneasler is good, but it's kind of poor into Volcarona and Basculegion and Garchomp. So yeah, Drampa in the back, and then let's see how we do here. I don't think our position is that bad. At least we do have some way of stopping weather, so if you do see Frostless up front, we have something we can do about that. They're on a pretty strong win streak here. We're gonna see Frostless and Garchomp up front. Cofagrigus is Sylveon. So Cofagrigus is probably dead to a weather or to a Frostless Shadow Ball. I don't think Frostless has anything to fear from these two Pokemon initially, so maybe we go Torkoal plus Weather Ball, and I think Garchomp probably switches out here unless they have like Iron Head, which is kind of just a crazy bring if that's what they end up going for. So yeah, we'll Weather Ball into Frostlass, and then swap Cofagrigus out to Torkoal and see if that works. They're gonna withdraw Garchomp, the Basculegion. Cofagrigus comes back first. I didn't think that's how that worked, unless Frostlass didn't Mega Evolve here. No, they did. That's not how I thought it worked, to be completely honest. I kind of thought that it was the same priority bracket. So I thought Frostlass would have Mega Evolved first because it is faster than Cofagrigus is naturally. That's really bad. That's really, really bad. I don't know if there's a lot I can really do to come back from such a thing. Weather Ball's not going to do any damage into Frostlass. It actually did okay. I guess it's probably best we either let Torkoal down. Torkoal can live a hit from Basculegion. But maybe we yawn Basculegion and Hyper Voice. I think that's probably the best way. Torkoal can definitely live a hit from Basculegion, unless, like, even if this is adaptability, I still think it's possible I can live a hit. Basculegion Wave Crash into Torkoal. Ooh, Torkoal does just go down. That's crazy damage. I mean, it's probably like Mystic Water adaptability Basculegion, so I guess to an extent that should still just be expected, but I don't know. Maybe I just had a little bit more faith in it, I guess. Hyper Voice into Basculegion does rip quite a bit of damage there. I think we can go Cofagrigus. At the same time, maybe we just go Drampa and protect it one turn. I think, yeah, probably Drampa plus protect is the route here. Bait the Frostlass into clicking Blizzard. And then click Hyper Voice. The alternative method was probably to go Cofagrigus, bait Shadow Ball and Last Respects, and then switch into Drampa on the normal immunity. Maybe that was the better way of doing it. Hyper Voice is really crap here. Drampa did remove the Blizzard, so even though we're baiting it, I don't know if that's necessarily going to be their best plan. Hyper Voice last turn did around 36%, 37% into Basculegion, so Hyper Voice should be able should be a double KO here, or not double KO. It's absolutely not killing Frostlass, but okay, they're gonna withdraw Basculegion into Volcarona. Interesting. We're gonna see Protect come out from Drampa. Are we gonna see a Blizzard from Frostlass? We are. It's gonna be protected by Drampa, and it is gonna rip into Sylveon. That's gonna be a bit of damage. Decent chip. Not in my favor, of course. Hyper Voice does do a little bit of damage to the both of them. I think we can maybe Hyper Voice or Earth Power plus Hyper Voice is probably the best way of doing this. I think Round does technically do more damage, right? Let me make sure that I'm not lying. Hyper Voice, Round, Frostlass. Let's just assume no bulk investment. And we have Pixelate. Hyper Voice in doubles does still do more damage. So yeah, we'll go Hyper Voice plus Earth Power into the Frostlass slot. And then hope that they can miss Blizzard because I did take away that. Maybe Drampa can also just live. They do miss on Drampa. They do hit Sylveon still. I don't know why I didn't Mega Evolve there. Well, yes I do, because I wanted to get rid of the Cloud9. Silly. Okay, Drampa, Sylveon, Hyper Voice rips into both. Doesn't do a whole lot of damage to Frostlass. Earth Power into Frostlass. Is able to take that KO. That's incredible. Oh, big crit. Big crit from Drampa. That's amazing. Okay, what's next here? I saw Basculegion in the back. They could go Basculegion, I suppose, but they're going to go Garchomp. I think here I want to bring out Cofagrigus, and then I probably click Protect here. And maybe also see myself going for Hyper Voice again. But Garchomp probably clicks Dragon Claw to Drampa, huh? We're going to Weather Ball, actually, into the Garchomp slot and try and take it out that way. They should not remember that. I don't think Volcarona is going to be able to kill Sylveon on its own. Oh, we're going to see Protect from Garchomp. Okay. Are we going to see Struggle Bug again? We're going to see Heat Wave. That should not be able to kill Sylveon. Yeah, I didn't think so. That's unfortunate, though. Cofagrigus might not be able to live both attacks here. Ooh, maybe with leftovers we can. Aurora Veil's gone, so it's not taking quite as much damage. We can Trick Room here and try and live 2 hits. I mean, we took a decent amount from Heat Wave there, but Garchomp is probably physical. I guess we can Trick Room then, yeah. Trick Room plus Protect, probably. Yeah, I'm going to Protect here. I want Sylveon to be able to live for sure. I could have gone for Hyper Voice because, you know, maybe they're intimidated by Sylveon now. But if I can set up Trick Room here, and Hyper Voice rips into the both of them, and since the Aurora Veil is gone, I think Hyper Voice will do quite a bit more damage into the Volcarona slot. Earthquake is going to come out. That's going to hit their own Volcarona, which is an interesting idea. And I think I should still be able to live a Heat Wave if that's what they went for. Ooh, they went for Tailwind. Perfect for me. Obviously, I'm setting up Trick Room. I want them to be as fast as possible. Trick Room, and then I think we can either... I think we can just Shadow Ball Hyper Voice. That's probably good enough. Shadow Ball might even kill Volcarona. That means we have single target Hyper Voice damage into the Garchomp slot. Not for me. We're going to try that. They could Protect here, but I'm honestly not concerned if that's what they decide to go for. Heat Wave, I don't think would have done enough damage. It might have been a roll, because it did do a bit earlier. But obviously that doesn't matter here. They can go for Rage Powder, that doesn't matter. I don't believe either of these Pokemon have priority, so maybe their best bet would here to be like double Protect. Rage Powder's fine. I know they're not Protect now because I know Protect has faster priority. So Shadow Ball into Volcarona. Doesn't quite pick up the KO, but Hyper Voice after this should. Big damage on Garchomp as well. That's awesome. That makes me think they did go for Earthquake with Garchomp. They did. So that's going to kill Sylveon. Still cannot quite do enough to beat Cofagrigus. Leftovers recovery. And then final Pokemon is Drampa. We can definitely just Shadow Ball Hyper Voice, and that might be enough. Maybe not though, because this is a really high bulk Garchomp, or not. It's a high HP Garchomp. Hilariously, something I'd kind of want to do is click body press into Drampa to get the berserk boost. But I think it might. I was at 80 HP last time, so it knocked me below that leftovers range. This might kill the earthquake. I mean, I can wisp into Garchomp and click Earth Power into the Basque Legion slot, and that might be enough. As long as they, you know, don't miss or don't dodge the burn. Cofagrigus is faster. I think Hyper Voice would have killed if I went for Garchomp with that, because it would have been single coverage or single target. So Cofagrigus Shadow Ball would have killed Basque Legion. Relaxed, so I know I'm still slower than Drampa. And then Drampa's Hyper Voice into Garchomp. Would that have been enough? I guess I'm not totally sure. That's a really cool design, by the way. I really like Mega Garchomp or Mega Drampa. Okay, I think I did a fine job here then. Will-O-Wisp doesn't really matter because they're just going to protect the damage, and the Earth Power into the Basque Legion should be able to take it out. I guess I'm still going to calc that because I'm kind of curious if this is like max Fizdet or max attack or whatever. Hyper Voice into Drampa, single target, does around 60%. So yeah, I think Hyper Voice would have been fine there if that's what I wanted to go for. Here I'm just going to go for probably body press. I don't really want to watch Rough Skin, doesn't really matter. We'll do Hyper Voice plus Shadow Ball. Just see what happens. Maybe Shadow Ball does more damage than I expect. Shadow Ball. That is a decent chip. It's not bad. Hyper Voice rips into Garchomp, and obviously that is the win for us. We'll try and get one or two more battles in here, and then see what happens from there. All right, let's get to the next battle. All right, battle number 3, PikÁlvaro, I believe. Up front here, I don't want to see Dragapult or King Gambit, because obviously they would do they would do damage into Cofagrigus. I don't believe they have a way of stopping me from setting up Trick Room if I were to go like Cofagrigus Sneasler. And then in the back, I can really justify like Sylveon or Drampa. Maybe both. Drampa's probably better because of Cloud9. So we'll do Cofagrigus Sneasler, Drampa, and then Sylveon, I suppose, as well, because Hyper Voice is really solid coverage here, as long as they don't go Charizard. But that is their Mega, so they probably are going to go Charizard. Let's try this. Cofagrigus Sneasler, Sylveon, Drampa. Ultra Ball rank. So we are getting close to Ultra Ball rank. We are 2 battles away from it. So I guess we are going to start running into opponents. Oh, come on now. We click CC here. I want to click Trick Room plus CC into the King Gambit because I want them to be able to kill my Sneasler. Yeah, we're absolutely just ripping CC into King Gambit. They could definitely swap King Gambit out. That would definitely make sense. But at the same time, I am a ghost. Definitely going to set up Trick Room. My guess is, yeah, they probably... Ooh, Stone Edge rips into Cofagrigus. They were faster. CC is going to rip into King Gambit, be able to absolutely take up the KO. And then they're going to let me set up Trick Room really easily. Okay, it's fine. Now, my Sneasler is going to be faster than this now because it did get the White Herb proc. That means it's going to be slower in the Trick Room. So they could, I mean, they're Stone Edge, they're Scarf Stone Edge. It's pretty obvious. So yeah, I'm in a really solid position here. They're going to bring out their own Sneasler, which is going to be faster. I'm just going to Wisp of Sneasler, and then I guess I'm going to swap out to Sylveon. Yeah, that's probably fine. They could go for Dire Claw. I guess, into the Sneasler slot, but just I really don't expect that that's what they're going to want to do. They're going to bring out Tandemaus. I'm going to bring out Sylveon. They're going to go for the fake out into the Sylveon slot. Obviously, that doesn't really do anything for them. They are going to get the Wisp off onto the Sneasler, burning it, completely neutering its damage. And now we're at a position where, honestly, we can just click, like, Shadow Ball Hyper Voice. I think I want to click Body Press into the Tandemaus slot, though, the Mouse Hold slot. So if they do go for Pop Bomb, that could kill Sylveon. I don't think I'm really scared about Sneasler at all, so we'll just go for Body Press Hyper Voice and see if that can pick up the KO on both Pokemon. I don't think it's enough for Sneasler, though. Don't quite think so. I guess... I mean, we're going to be faster than both Pokemon. They're going to go for Follow Me with a Tandemaus. That's exactly what I was hoping for. I'm targeting it anyways. Body Press is going to rip out into a Chople Berry Mouse Hold and do very, very little damage, which is incredible. Hyper Voice isn't going to be able to kill from that range, I don't think, and it's obviously not going to be able to kill Sneasler because of Friend Guard. But it did do a lot of damage into both slots, and Sneasler is burned, so I don't think it's going to be enough to kill Sylveon. Not even close. They could get a status. They're not even going to get that, though. So we're in a pretty solid position here. Sylveon is able to definitely take out Sneasler next turn. I don't know what I could see. Garchomp, I mean, we Shadow Ball that and try and get as much damage as possible. I guess I should... We're going to see a forfeit. I am going to double check, see if Cofagrigus does naturally more damage with Body Press than it does Shadow Ball. I think that's probably fair for me to learn. Into Garchomp, because I am relaxed, I do more damage with Body Press, I mean. 38% to Garchomp versus 26%. So not a big difference, but 4% could be all that matters. That was... Actually, we're in Ultra Ball tier. I think we're going to try and get one more battle in this tier, and then we will see if that looks good enough for the end of the video. Let's see if we can get one more battle, guys. All right, fourth and final battle. Drampa hasn't had a whole lot of chances to really impress me here, but from what I've seen, Drampa just like puts in a really poor position. Like this team alone, this has Rain, right? Drampa comes out with Cloud9, and then Pelipper is suddenly like completely useless. I don't believe it stops Meganium, but I guess that's something we can definitely test here. It's not great into a Azumarill and opposing Drampa. Raichu's not really a problem for me. I do want to get up Trick Room, but because of Drampa, I'm not so sure if I really need to. Actually, yeah, I don't know if I need to do that. Sylveon isn't really intimidated by anything here. I kind of want to click like Sylveon Drampa and just see where that leads me. Although we are definitely going to see an Incineroar up front, which is going to be frustrating. Maybe we do Sylveon Drampa, Sneasler plus Torkoal, maybe to give me the Sun instead. That might be a better position instead of having to deal with like powerful water moves from Azumarill. But I don't know if that's really even that big of a deal. We could go Whimsicott, but I think Cofagrigus is still probably the best slot in the back. Let's see if the Sylveon Drampa lead does anything. I don't think it's a great lead. It's probably not the best, but their team is kind of strange that I'm actually not super intimidated by any of them. Even if I see, like, Azumarill up front, while this is, like, scary, I think I can probably just click, like, round into the Azumarill, as long as they're not faster than my Sylveon, which they could be. I am modest, though, in order to try and outspeed more of these Pokemon. I think what we can do is click round into Azumarill, and then Mega, and click round into Azumarill, and try and take it out that way. As long as Sylveon is faster... They could Icy Wind with Pelipper. Pelipper is naturally faster than both of these Pokemon, and I don't have any speed investment into Sylveon, I don't believe, so they could Icy Wind or Tailwind. That's frustrating. I don't know if Azumarill is probably going to be able to take out my Drampa here, isn't it? We are going to see Play Rough into Drampa. Drampa is able to live amazingly. That's awesome, dude. We are going to get the Berserk boost, so this Azumarill is definitely dead. round into Azumarill plus round into Azumarill. Got a crazy amount of damage. That's insane. That's really, really solid. Being able to... Wow. Drampa lived the play rough from Azumarill. That could have been, like... I don't believe it was Fairy. Or whatever. Fairy Feather, I believe. This Drampa is going to be faster. At the same time, I don't think I'm even stressed about it. I think I can just click Hyper Voice and then swap Drampa out. Hell, I can maybe even keep Drampa in to try and bait them next turn, but no, I think I'll leave Drampa out and like I guess double Hyper Voice. Is probably the best way. I want to get a little bit of damage onto Pelipper. So yeah, we'll double Hyper Voice here. This Drampa is probably going to be faster than both mine. I don't think it's going to be able to kill both Pokemon. Definitely not. Opposing Drampa uses Hyper Voice, isn't able to kill either Pokemon. Does get a land a critical hit onto Sylveon, which is frustrating, but not really the end of the world. Hyper Voice rips into both Pokemon. Oh my goodness. That's insane damage. Holy crap. Azumarill still did, like, that's just did so much damage into Drampa. Like, both level 50. That might have been a low roll. We are Mega Drampa, max HP. I don't think I have any other type of investment. I have 1 extra point into defense, I guess. If this was just max attack, Adamant, Azumarill, and not like Jolly or anything, I had a 68% chance to die to that attack. I could go Cofagrigus. I think I will go Cofagrigus as well, because that means I can just protect with Sylveon and try and set up Trick Room with Cofagrigus. Worst case is Cofagrigus gets doubled down here, and then I bring out Sneasler next turn anyways. Tailwind might be gone by that point, and then we can try and clean up from there. So yeah, we're going to go for Trick Room here. Sylveon is going to protect. We're going to see Mega Meganium, which is a Pokemon I actually don't believe I fought quite yet, although I don't think it's going to matter too much right here. It could go for Solar Beam and like Weather Ball into Cofagrigus, and that's definitely something that they can do. But I don't think it's really gonna matter. Ooh, Hurricane into Cofagrigus is going to rip, not quite deal 50%. And then we're gonna see Solar Beam go into the Oh nope, they are gonna absorb. Ooh, they did go into the protected Sylveon though, so not quite able to clean up there. I think here we just click Hyper Voice Shadow Ball. Do they still have Tailwind up? They do. They have 1 more turn of Tailwind. So they are definitely going to be slower than me, or faster than me next turn when I'm out with Sneasler. But I think at that point I just click Fake Out. And then like 2 Hyper Voices plus Fake Out into Meganium should be enough to KO. Just to be sure, we're also going to click Shadow Ball into Meganium. They go for Protect here. That's fine. They could double Protect maybe, but I don't think that's going to change much in the long run. So we're going to see Shadow Ball into Meganium, do around 22%. Hyper Voice rips into Meganium as well. Bring him down to 36%. They could Solar Beam into the Sylveon slot, which would be annoying. But let's see. I don't know. Yeah, they are going to go into Sylveon. We're going to bring out Sneasler here. So my concern here is that I could Fake Out into Pelipper and try and remove it. Or I could Fake Out into Meganium, do a little bit of chip damage. I still have 1 turn of Trick Room left, or I still have 3 turns of Trick Room left. So Fake Out rips into Meganium, prevents it from being able to move this turn. And then we can Shadow Ball into Pelipper. They did just go for Protect, so Shadow Ball should be able to KO unless they try and go for the double. After this turn, I'll still have 2 turns left, so no matter who they target next turn, unless they go for like Dazzling Gleam and like crit Sneasler, and yeah, this should be the way of guaranteeing a victory here. They didn't go for the double with Pelipper, so Pelipper is going to go down to a Shadow Ball from Cofagrigus. And then that crit did not matter. And then next turn, we can go for Dire Claw plus Shadow Ball into the Meganium slot. If they go for a kill on Sneasler with like Earth Power or something, then I still have another Shadow Ball to rip with another turn of Trick Room into the Meganium slot. Their best play here is to probably, take out Sneasler, protect next turn, and then hope that they can kill Cofagrigus with 1 Solar Beam. I guess that's probably their best play. But we're going to Dire Claw plus Shadow Ball, either way, into the Meganium slot. Actually, I could click Trick Room here, hilariously. That's really risky, though. Yeah, we're going to go for another Shadow Ball with the Meganium slot. That's probably the best play for me. And then their best play is just, they actually didn't even go for it. So Shadow Ball into Meganium. Weather Ball into Sneasler. I don't think that's going to be enough to take it out. Yeah, it wasn't even enough to take it out. So Dire Claw is going to rip into the Mega Meganium slot, take it out, and then secure me the first victory, my first victory anyways, in my Ultra Ball run, which is really, really cool. Drampa did... I still cannot believe it lived to play rough from Azumarill. That was just like... That should be so much damage. That's doubling its attack stat, probably max attack Adamant, but not Fairy Feather. I don't believe it could live a Fairy Feather attack. And it still lived, and then it killed Azumarill along with Sylveon right afterwards. And since they just had so much bulk among them, they actually just were still able to, clean up the rest of the game, which is just incredible. I mean, that Hyper Voice into the second turn did so much damage into Pelipper, it was nonsense. I can't remember what other Pokemon they had out, but it didn't matter because Hyper Voice Hyper Voice went into Drampa and just completely obliterated it. So that was my Drampa team, I guess, for Pokemon Champions. Climb to the top. I hope you guys all enjoyed. And then I will see you next time with hopefully another Mega Evolution. Bye-bye, guys. Have a good one.